This build was probably my first mock, Lego UCS Landspeeder. I put this out on Lego Ideas on a dare, and it's done pretty well so far. It's at about 8,600 votes.
Really?
Yeah, 208 days left, I think, so it's doing okay.
Legitimately, that's very impressive. That's a hard platform to get some traction on.
It is, definitely.
So how have you gotten that traction? Do you think you're piggybacking off of like the love of Star Wars a little bit?
Well, definitely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people that come to conventions like this are Star Wars fanatics anyway. It's been good for it. This is the second Brick World that it's been to, and with Ideas extending the timeline, it's really helped a lot.
Definitely.
But no, I think everybody, when you look at this, everybody knows what it is. I can tell you it's the first hover car I ever wanted to drive when I was a kid. And I'm pretty old. I'm a big kid at 41. But really surprised that Lego hasn't put this out there in a UCS set yet, and I just figured I'd always want one of my own, so there it is,
Yeah, I think it's almost like they go for like the bigger, more grayer studs exposer.
Exactly, right. I tried to make this as traditional UCS as possible. It's about 2,854 pieces total count. It's the right size, right piece count, and I figured better put some minifigures in there just in case, because they're starting to go that route now.
Yes, you gotta like it as like
Sandcrawler
a
and stuff
throw in
like
one.
that. Yeah, absolutely. You bet.
And so when you were approaching this build, once again, very, very clean lines. Just the overall like shaping is just wonderful. How did you start the build?
I'll be honest with you. I put Technic brick together just kind of like I did with the Destroyer that I also made, and tried to find the lines outside of it with the different pieces that are out there, specifically curved slope. But the inspiration was really a bunch of the toys, looking at those, watching the movie again, taking a good look at it, and really trying to mimic everything as closely as I possibly could. It was a challenge. It was fun though.
Definitely. And so point out some portions of the build that were particularly kind of cumbersome for you to kind of to execute.
To get that round shape in the front of the craft and on the sides.
Those wheel wells for like a car.
Exactly. Yeah. It just was the best way to mimic that round shape.
Totally.
There isn't a lot of supremely round shaped Lego out there that can. In my experience, again,
Lego's pretty square. Lego's pretty square.
That's true. So there was that, and the grill especially. The engines, the repulsor engines, I felt those were actually easier than pretty much everything else. And the hardest part. And when I first put this out there, didn't know the Lego library very well, but the windscreen came later, and I think that kind of topped it off. There really isn't a part out there that makes that up, so piecing together a bunch of windscreens helps.
It works, yeah.
It does it. Does the job.
Awesome. And talk about coloring. Like dark red and tan obviously works very well. Do you think there's a challenge sometimes with sourcing?
Definitely. The original color of the craft is a brown and rust color orange sort of. But in later toys that were released of the speeder, they also used the kind of tannish yellowish color with a darker red. And so I felt that those two colors were the best way to go about it.
Definitely. It works. Yeah. And any final things you'd like to share about the model?
Absolutely. Feel free to vote for it out there. It's on Lego Ideas.
There you go. So it is a Lego Ideas project.
Yes,
so there's a QR code. I think we're looking at the QR code right now. So if we can get a more heads-on shot there. There you go. So pause the video right now and scan the QR code. And then there we go. All right. So to kind of finish this out here, how important is it to sort of package? You said 8,600 supporters at the moment. How hard is it to package like the project as like something that like people are easy to like they can say, oh, that could be a set, because a lot of people they seem to struggle to package it.
Sure. I think it's got to be something that someone hasn't done before. It's got to be iconic. It's got to be something that's well known, and again, I did this on a dare. If I had to do it again, I'd approach it a little differently.
Sure.
But I think it's kind of come around on its own. It's been shared. It's been tumbled. It's been, you name it. So yeah, and that's really, social media has kind of been my best friend for that.
Well, definitely. Well, Aaron, wonderful build. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks, guys.
Support on Lego Ideas. Support it.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Thanks.